cash a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need a pill. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skincare, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's S-U-P-P-S, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, we are back, we are better for the moment you've all been waiting for, kicking off season 2 of the NFL coverage. We just had week 1, opening Sunday, however you want to look at it. We're back in full swing, not only college ball, but the NFL as well. So we're going to get straight into it. We're going to go over week 1 games that we saw. So Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. I figured Baltimore Ravens would probably get it done there, but Kansas City Chiefs looks like they could be a contender for a three-peat. And I'm a little curious to see how this run game with the Ravens pan out, because their run game wasn't what I guess people like I was expecting, having Derrick Henry in the backfield. I think everybody's expecting the Ravens run game to be an absolute beast, and they did struggle a little bit. Derrick Henry had 46 rushing yards on 13 carries. Lamar had 122 rushing yards off 16, but a lot of those were just scrambles that turned into run plays. But close, competitive game there. It was a fun game to watch, and that was Thursday night. Total rushing yards for the Baltimore was 185, not bad. They held Kansas City to just 72 rushing yards, but still Kansas City gets it done with 353 total yards, even though Baltimore had 452. Green Bay Packers, Eagles get the dub there, 34-29. Eagles kind of started off a tad bit rough there, but they end up getting it done with Saquon Barkley playing absolutely phenomenal. Jalen Hurts playing decent there, and Jordan Love, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, goes down with a knee injury there towards the end of the game, but it's not a season-ending injury. I believe it was a MCL sprain, so they're saying he's going to be out at least 4 weeks. So they're going to reevaluate him at 4 weeks, but it's not season-ending, which is good news for Green Bay Packer fans. Pittsburgh Steelers Falcons. Pittsburgh's win 18-10. Interesting game. Pittsburgh didn't score a single touchdown. It was all field goals and defensive and special teams plays. So kind of weird to judge. Justin Fields was a starter, not Russell Wilson. Even though Russell Wilson was named the starter going into week 1, but then right before the game, they said Justin Fields is going to be a starter. He had 156 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, got sacked twice. Najee Harris, 20 rushes for 70 yards. Again, it was all defense for that game. New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings win 28-6. No surprise there. Vikings are looking solid. Miami Dolphins, Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, we saw the news with Tyreek Hill being put in handcuffs before the game for a citation for reckless driving, traffic violation, etc., etc. Comes out, he has a phenomenal game, had over 100 yards and a touchdown. They win by a field goal there at the end. New England Patriots and the Bengals. New England Patriots came out and got the dub over the Bengals 16-10. Buffalo Bills, Arizona Cardinals, another intense game, a good game to watch. There, Buffalo Bills squeaked the win out there at the end. Josh Allen, again, started off a little rusty, but then got his groove going there in the second half. Houston Colts. Houston win by 2 points, 29-27 there. CJ Stroud's looking like he's probably going to have another have another phenomenal year, but we'll see as we get going here in the season. Tennessee Titans, Chicago Bears. Again, as a Tennessee Titans fans, I was devastated. We go up, we're up 17 on them, and they come all the way back to win. Not a single offensive touchdown scored. It was a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and field goals. But we'll see as we get going what Tennessee Titans are going to do there. And then we haven't really seen, I feel like we haven't really seen what Chicago's offense could do. Again, Titans defense is solid. I think that they could potentially rank somewhere around 5th, 6th, 7th. They'll be top 10 defense, I think, for sure. I think they have the potential to be a top 5 defense. We'll see. Defensive line's good. Their secondary's good. Their linebackers look good. Offensively, Bears did not play well because of the defense, but Tennessee Titans came out strong. They just didn't finish. Panthers, Saints. Saints are looking like they could potentially be contenders, but it is the Panthers, so we'll hold off on any type of judgment. I don't usually like to start putting teams in the tiers I think they'll be at until week 5 at the earliest. I usually don't start till week 6, 7, honestly, but for sure nothing before week 5. But so we'll see how Saints do when they play, to be honest, a better team. Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Chargers. Looks like Raiders might have potentially were gonna, maybe do something, but they ended up not really doing much there, especially in the second half. Chargers win 22-10. Denver, Seattle, close games. Seattle wins by 6 points, 26-10. Buccaneers, Washington Commanders. Buccaneers win 37-20. Baker Mayfield had an absolute outing. If you guys remember, if you don't remember, I'll remind you, I had my Tampa Bay Buccaneers as my dark horse team for the playoffs last year. I think they'll be my dark horse team this year, a team that I don't think is going to get a lot of media coverage, a team that I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about, but I think are going to quietly be really good here this season, but we'll see. They win 37-20. Dallas Cowboys, Cleveland Browns, 33-17. Again, offense was doing what they needed to do. Defense looks phenomenal. And Browns, they don't have Nick Chubb, who's like the centerpiece of their offense. Deshaun Watson not really playing to the level he needs to play. So we'll have to see how the Browns work. Again, he was out last season. He had to knock some rust off because I believe they called Joe Flacco up because he hurt his shoulder. So maybe it might take him a game or two to get back in the groove. We'll see. But the Cowboys handle business against the Browns. Detroit Lions, Rams, OT. Lions win 26-20. Montgomery had him an outing. And then Jets, 49ers. Right now, 49ers look like the absolute best team in the NFL. I know it's early, and like I said, I don't like to put teams in tiers. But based off of that game, defense, front seven was absolutely dominant in the front seven for the 49ers. And to be honest, Aaron Rodgers looked pretty decent. I'm not going to say he looked bad. He didn't look great. But if you really watched the game, he was starting to get his groove going there. They scored that touchdown up the middle field, that free play to I believe it was Lazard. I do think once 2-3 games in, again, people have to remember Aaron Rodgers hasn't played a full game in 2 years. The last time he played a full game was when he's with the Green Bay Packers. Because last year's first year with the Jets, he only played 4 snaps and he got hurt. So I do think for Rodgers, it might take a game or two to fully knock the rust off. I don't think there's much rust to knock off because the throws look good. The pick he threw, it was to the receiver tips it. Those type of interceptions, on paper, it goes to the quarterback, but those aren't type of interceptions that really are on the quarterback. Those are on the receivers. There should be a way to have a stat I was thinking it should be called a critical drop. Basically, if a receiver tips the ball and that tip leads to an interception, that's on the receiver. The interception should fall on the receiver, not the quarterback, but it is what it is. But 49ers offense getting pretty much anything they wanted. Jets defense did look strong early on, but just the 3 and outs, being put in bad positions in terms of the turnovers the Jets had didn't help them out. So the 49ers squeaked away. And it was actually a fairly close game there at the 4th. But the 49ers scored there late, so it makes it look like it was more than it really was. But we'll see excuse me, because the Jets play Titans next week. So we'll see how that goes. The 49ers, for sure, they definitely look like the most complete team as of right now. All right, next week, week 2. Just real quick going over who plays who, and then the games I'm going to keep my eye on in terms of just matchups. So we have Bills, Dolphins, Thursday night. So this is going to be tonight. This video is going to drop Thursday morning. Then we have Sunday, we have Saints at Cowboys, Raiders at Ravens, Giants at Commanders, Chargers at Panthers, Colts at Packers, 49ers at Vikings, Browns at Jacksonville, Seattle at New England, Jets at Tennessee Titans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Detroit Lions, Rams at Cardinals, Steelers at Browns, Bengals at Chiefs, Bears at Houston, Atlanta Falcons at Eagles. Games I'm going to have my eyes on are Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions. I think those are going to be two pretty evenly matched teams, two teams that could potentially be fighting for the top of the NFL. So I'm curious to see how Baker Mayfield fares against a solid defense and vice versa. So I'm going to be interested in that game. Obviously, the Tennessee Titans and Jets. I want to see what the Titans defense does against Aaron Rodgers and that young receiving core he has. Mostly young, obviously, besides a few people. But against that young team, I'm curious to see how the Tennessee Titans defense holds up against that and what the Tennessee Titans offense is going to do against that defense. Because the Jets defense, even though it's the first week, that Jets defense their secondary is solid. So we'll see how they hold up. But Titans, as of right now, have the #1 overall defense. So we'll see. Again, it's week 1. So, once teams play different teams of more talent or more volume, things will start to settle where they're going to be. But Titans have the #1 overall defense in total yards per game, #1 passing defense, and the 9th rushing defense. And they're third in the NFL in third down percentage, which means that they get off the field when it's third downs on defense. So we'll see how that plays up. Obviously, I'm looking at that game. And I think the big game a lot of people are going to be looking at is the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins. I'll have that Thursday night just because those are two teams that are generally competitive every year for the Super Bowl. So my eyes on that team. And last but not least, I am going to have my eye on the Raiders, not Raiders and Ravens, where is it at? Dallas. Saints and Dallas. Saints had an absolute outing last week. So let's see how the Saints do against Dallas and their defense with Micah Parsons and Diggs and the linebackers that the Dallas Cowboys have. So we'll see how that goes. Dallas Cowboys right now overall in total yards defense, they're 7th. Saints defense is ranked 2nd. Again, it's week 1, so these numbers aren't really set where they're going to be set. But I'm curious to see what it looks like. 2 high-powered offenses. So far, it looks like 2 high-powered offenses. Let's see how those defenses hold up against that matchup. But that is going to be for this upcoming week starting today, the day this video drops. So today, again, excited. NFL is back, and we are back kicking off season 2 of the NFL coverage. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.
My destiny, I'm gonna chase my dreams.